what you're doing, just to remind you once again, I'm going to pull this off because that's a hazard. These are the instructions I used to give out when we did it by hand. I have separated each part of that JSA, and I call it a JSA because I'm old, and that's what it used to be, into 4 steps. 8 groups of 4, okay? And again, it's not on here, but there's a yellow line at the top. Just to help you out a little bit, that yellow line is the top of the JSA. That's where you start. Everybody with me? Okay? I've already given that to you. I've done the whole JSA, whereas they used to have to fill it out. I filled it out for you to remind you again. What you're going to do is you're going to go in there and you're going to arrange them in order. It's a 32-point exercise. So you got all these 4 steps. That's 8 times 4 is 32. So 8 groups of 4 that you're going to put into order that they should go. What should you start with, like we said in class? There you go, okay? So, that's just a little reminder for you. And what I'm just going to do, my job, is to shut up most of the time that you're doing this. If I see you going way out of whack, getting something that's going crazy, I'll try to stop you. You have the advantage over my Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes when they do this of time, because we have until 12:15, okay? So, here's how this works. If you want to get your cell phones out, one of the only times in Dr. Nick's class he will ever allow you to use a cell phone is right now. They have to be stacked exactly as you see them in this corner, okay? So they have to go back. Just putting them back is just as important as taking them out. And I'll instruct you and help you on the stacking part too. That's self-supporting. That keeps it out of the way of the hazmat module. What are you going to use for your ladder if you need to use a ladder? The stairs. We have handrails and stairs that you can't fall out of. That means we got to push them around, we got to put them together? Yes, that's what that means, okay? You know, I'm not going to turn you loose with any ladders. If you see one in the back and I see you getting it out, I'll stop you. If I see you standing on the table, I'll stop you. That's not what we're going to do. That's not how you put them together safely. You got it makes it a little more challenging, but you have plenty of room here and plenty of space to put this together utilizing these stairs, okay? Does that make sense? Everybody cool? Okay? So, how this works is like this. If I don't see you moving anything, you don't get no points, even if you did the exercise. So, groups 1 and 2. Group 1, you're going to be doing, because I am thinking this way today. Where have I put my pen? Group 1 will be doing the aluminum planking, which is on the bottom, back here in the back. And you'll be doing the, the silver, the silver guardrails that are cross, and they have cross braces in there. That makes sense? It's not really clear, but the pre-made guardrails, you'll be doing that. That's a better way for it. You'll be doing the aluminum planking and the pre-made guardrails, okay? Group 2, you're going to be doing wood planking, and you're going to be doing all silver and silver posts and silver guardrails. Does that make sense? Anybody unclear on how that works? Okay, I'm making a note, so let's move like we have a purpose, and away we go.
Group 1, where we at?
I was watching the video, so they have
there are outriggers, as I discussed earlier. There's outriggers back there too, okay? And that'll qualify one team or another. We'll all go through and add 5 points to your score if you get them on correctly. And there is that one mystery piece that we talked about in class. Watch that group and watch that 6 feet. Social distance. There you go. Yeah, I forgot to mention that pins, and there's pins pins on top on the table back there behind in the black case. There's wheels in the bottom on the black case. Okay, there's a tray with pins in it. There's also tools over there if you need them. You really shouldn't, but if you do, let me know. And I'll get it to you. We have brass pins and we have silver pins. Both will work equally.
I guess they don't matter.
Yeah,
I want to help you out there. You're doing that upside down.
no.
They're doing that upside down. What's that? If you've done them all first, yeah. Just be sure and tell me before you leave which group you are, so I know how to put them
Can
in.
someone get on this side and this side? I'll put them in.
Watch your cameras. There you go. Now you got it. Those are called pigtail pins down on the bottom.
They don't go all the way down to the bottom.
There you go.
And I don't think he's in the hole.
Like that.
There you go.
So someone will hold it. Yeah. Yeah, we can.
Put that break that. Alright, that's all we're
There you go. Watch that distance. Keep it 6 foot.
That's right here, I'll go. You got it.
You got some?
Now we're moving.
Come on down with it.
Pins in there.
Alright, get the cross braces over there.
Yeah, we're gonna
You got it? I'll hold it. I got all of it. Oh, the pins are over there in that, right behind the
Good. Good.
How many are we gonna need?
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go. Looking good, looking good. What do you call those pieces for your test you got on right now? That's it, cross braces. It's on your terminology sheet. If you get lost, use your pictures at the top of the puzzle box. Pictures that we printed off the class.
Yeah, Paul, right over here.
we're gonna need the cup up in.
There you go.
Go up.
Excellent. Man knows his business. Very good.
How many?
Now watch it, it'll try to fold on you, okay? When you're rolling it. Yeah, be careful, because it'll try to fold on you. Oh, you found the other thing. You just finger tighten that, guys. Let me ask you one question. Where would that catch the most of the scaffold? And the easiest to level up? Where would it catch the most of the scaffold? Yeah, you got it, okay? And you already got a leveling point right there, see? You don't have to think, you just finger tighten. Don't put a gorilla grip on it, just finger tighten. I've already had to cut off 2 bolts because they over tightened. Go ahead, man. There you go. Good, good, good. Now just drop it down.
Drop this or leave it.
You got strong fingers, don't you?
Hey, Dr. Nick, you don't got a little thing.
There's tools over there if you need them. They tie them in that little red craft suit. There's a socket set, there's a crescent wrench, it's tied to the box for a reason. 9/16. 9/16 inside. Okay. There you go. Yeah, the problem here, I'm telling you, this should be flipped the other way. That's part of the problem. You realize what's going on? I have to flip that right the wrong way.
For the other ones. Okay.
Yeah, just finger tight is fine. Finger tight. Good, good. You're much better than a lot of the other class. All right. Good.
Yeah.
That'll work. Yep, you can do that. Yeah, just be careful and watch it folding. You should be able to move. There you go.
Then I guess we gotta push it down in there then.
Okay.
And you stand up.
Good. Teamwork. That's what the Wonder Pets say.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but thank you.
No, well, we need to, like, what we're gonna do, we'll go from the side, like, we're gonna set it up there and then just slide it over.
Okay, I got you.
Good.
That's gonna be like this way. I'll go under and slide it. Y'all go
Like what I'm hearing. Good. There you go. That's it. Now we'll move it.
Lock it down. Set it down. Slide it.
Fingers, what do you got there? What's your hazard? There you go.
Alright, on my side.
Let's slide it.
It is locked in. Once you're on there, they self-lock. You're ready to go. You get lost, look at your pictures. That's one of them. They got the other one. That's the last one that's available. Goose the Bop is the last one.
Maybe that is faster. So yeah.
Good. Very good.
Oh yeah, in between these. Yeah, I feel like spread them out a little bit. Or no, 6.
Pick them down and then put those on.
What is it? Yeah, no. 6 inches over one.
Good plan.
Put them sideways.
Like what I'm hearing. Good plan. Good plan.
Do you guys want to do that?
You good with that?
Moving it back over there, right? We can do both.
What do you call the, on all four, they're designed for, yeah, for all four. And every outrigger will have a wheel to go with it, caster. Yeah. If you get them first,
Yeah.
Oh, we need wood for it, man.
So we'll need wheels with
Well, they got the wheels on it, but we already.
Oh.
Okay, so now I guess we're switching. Here you go.
Oh, thank you.
Since I got them first.
Good. Good.
Thank you. I got it right
Excellent. You did it before I even asked. Just make sure that one's on the outside. That's exactly what I want. Very good. Very good. So I'm going to do a little show and dance here. And, doing good, folks. Doing good. Far better than a lot of other groups. I can tell you that.
Before we go, put it here and then put it across.
There we go.
Good. What's the hazard I'm putting those planks on? Pinch. What else? Wood. What's the wood give you? There you go.
Two more pins.
Okay? May not be on my JSA, but it's a hazard. Yeah, I got the other one. Get in my corner.
Oh, we gotta do the bottom one too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There you go. Good. There you go.
We just have to do the bottom one.
Okay.
Is the bottom one?
Yeah.
You got it?
There we go. Okay. Well, that's not gonna do it.
Oh, yeah. Good afternoon.
Yeah?
The roads are there for this one, for the
What's
bottom.
that?
What do we do wrong here?
Go ahead, Jim. What's that?
To tighten down the
Well, you have to tighten it down the rails.
That kind of indicates you got it the wrong way.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Twist it out. Okay.
Dig what I'm saying?
That makes more sense.
All right.
Twist it this way. Twist it. Twist the
I'm
wheel.
trying to cook theirs still. They gotta do their style too.
Oh, okay.
Gotta keep it curled a little bit.
Yeah, the next
Yeah,
one.
Like it?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, you don't have to flip them all the same way in the end. That's right.
Watch out for the camera.
Watch it. Very good. Very good.
Alright. Well, still a little bit away. This way. Yeah, there you go. And this one tells you all the way from
Just keep those masks up, fellas. Get them all over the nose. I know it's hard.
Where's mine?
We got them different on both sides. You just want to this way, this one, this way.
You're doing it correctly.
need to roll it.
You're all doing it correctly.
This one already has
You have them installed correctly. Just make sure they have pins. I'll explain later.
There's only one.
No, you're good, Kyle. The bottom part stays. No, you're
Yeah, it's not lying.
Okay, yeah. Now we need the ladder. Y'all ready to roll it that way? Take the brakes off.
There you go. Yeah, some brakes work, some brakes don't. That's all the state of Oklahoma can afford, so that's what we use.
So, put it next to the third.
I'm thinking if we just kind of scoot it back, but that's going to be in the way, though, I think.
See, you goose the boss, stabilize it as well as the plank. You gotta square it up, level up. If you do that,
Hey, go ahead, scoot it that way. Just touch.
I'm trying to figure out how we're going to get it
And try to break what wheels will break and do the best you can.
Just got the weight on the wheel.
Okay, go ahead.
Down is brake, up is loose.
Well, they weren't working today.
That's right. That's the best they've given me. I work with what they give me, that's what I do.
I know, that's what I'm about to do.
Those ones
They're
on
the
this
inside.
side.
That's not gonna fit.
So those, these two, we're gonna want to.
You think so?
Good.
Okay. Let's see about that.
And then we'll spin it.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll spend
After you
it.
get them on.
Yeah. We'll do.
Okay, now you folks, your two ends are right there, the chain guardrail. Okay? You can lift them and move them if you can get in between, if you want. Try to help you out. Two-person lift.
Okay, you want to see that? Let's scoot this
Nah,
back.
you don't have to. You can move them if you got tall people. Here it helps to be tall.
You wanna hold that? Ooh.
Just save you some time. There you go. Alrighty, Miles, in the rest of them. We can put cross braces up there. That's good.
Here, whenever we roll,
Go ahead and put that one up there real quick.
we'll let them do it real quick.
Well, you gotta look at your grooves on the bottom where your toe boards are gonna come in.
Good.
So y'all, if you keep it facing the way you have it, it needs to go on this side.
Very good. Excellent. Man knows his business. Very good.
Just kind of turn it around real quick. Yeah.
Your end goes to his end.
Just send it back.
Our end.
So you go like that.
Good.
Slide around that end.
There you go. Up. Good, good, good. Alright. There we go. There we go. Stable.
Down that side, so now we just do that.
Now you'll have to track their guardrails. Their guardrails are right here.
Do what?
We're gonna slide them around the other side. And incidentally, keep going. I need this one towards the middle of the room, so that's perfect.
So we could either
Keep that one towards the middle of the room. There you go. Excellent.
Yeah, we can go ahead and grab the
My
toe
God, two
boards.
teams working together. I've never seen it.
And these go.
Hey, can we scoot your weight a little bit?
And now that's tricky. You're gonna have to roll in that corner to get that one up, and you may have to have somebody get up on top of the steps to help you with that
Yeah,
one.
we might have to wait for the stuff for this one.
If you can get one person around them on the steps up there, you can get up there and they'll put that up.
Okay. Someone
Makes
goes
sense?
there, and they like stand behind them.
We're about done.
Yeah, you're close. No tailboards.
Think the 2x4 will fit in there?
Yeah, I think you could keep it.
Okay, yeah, we can go grab the
Just remember to
2x4.
spin it all the way back around when you're done. Those are yours. Those are yours. You got it right.
So we're waiting on the set. No, we can.
We can push it right here.
Well, we can just go ahead and put our toe boards in, and then to do that, we'll probably have to use the stairs.
And there's nothing to bolt those toe boards in because we take them apart and put them together, so they just slide in.
Slide this one up in there.
Let's keep this one back a little.
Good. Very good. They just sit there. Nah, because we take them apart and put them together.
Yeah, we got some toe boards in there.
So now we just gotta put our cross brakes on, and then we're done.
Yep.
We just gotta wait for them to slide that over.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do-si-do.
I bet you.
That's how
Do
that
what?
Yeah, I need the blank one.
Yeah.
I need the blank one towards the middle of the room. The one with no
For ease of
stamp on the
purpose, that's
side.
probably why he did that.
Yeah.
That blank.
So we need to go
So I can
through.
hammer it down.
So which way do you want to try to go about
Since they're
this?
doing filming, you probably want to spin
We
it
just
the other way.
pull it up here, we can put that leg on the other side there.
Okay. Yeah, that
I'm
works.
thinking we do that.
and then you'll break it. And it's somewhere in this area.
I'll look at,
You guys can roll forward. Watch your cameras, watch your camera. Woo, close to the camera with that outrigger. There you go. Good. Now, here's the test. Here's a question for your final exam or online, probably online, depending on how they do it. What's the maximum distance between all planks? Doesn't matter if they're wood or aluminum that's allowed by OSHA.
1 inch.
Make it so. Got it?
Let's go ahead and get those up, guys. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Or we have to do that
Yeah.
side and then we'll have to one area.
Doing good, doing good.
I mean,
That's less than an
They will work. Guaranteed they fit up there. It's not a if you can't fix it, force it situation. They do fit. Promise.
I think I should flip them.
Now you got it. Doesn't matter which way. They're universal. You can go either way.
Let's try this.
He's probably gonna measure more.
I was just looking for
Inch or less. So it doesn't have to be exactly an inch. It can be less than this. So if you space it too much this way, then you gotta be good on everywhere else.
Can you hold that for just a minute so I can get it shot? You can leave your hand up.
Gotta get the students in there.
Yeah.
See that? She found the best looking man for the job. Took his picture. Look at that. Who was that masked man? What's his name? I'm going to explain in a minute. This is actually rigged as if you were going to do brickwork all the way down the side of the building. Just spin it so that that blank one's in the middle of the room. Because I got to talk about that one. Okay. Correct. Yeah. We would, to each scaffold, and tie them to the building. And then we would tie the toe boards together. I'll talk about that in just a minute. All right, cool?
Yeah.
We're doing good because you guys did teamwork. Spin that one around for me, guys. Get your almost breaks. There you go. That's how they're supposed to go. It always is, every time. One group did it one time and that made it that way forever. So. There you go. That's just push. Bang it when you hear a little. You gotta get Brian. Pull up on the frame. It will go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the two offers both set up. And what was the easiest route?
No, maybe a two-way bind there. There you go. See there? Looks like you knew what you were doing all along, didn't it?
No, up to the,
There you go. Does you go? Watch your cameras. Watch your spacing. Doing good. Watch your mask up over your nose. Hopefully, since you got one on, the other one should be easier.
That's good.
That's good.
Hold on, let me get on the inside. There we go.
There you go. Good, good. Almost. There you go. Easier the other side, right? Okay, now, let's get our outriggers going as if we were going to use it. There you go. Okay. Make sure they're all parallel, locked down. Those do lock down. Our bolts are snug up against the tube.
We'll need to slide it out so we get hers.
Hold up.
There we go, that's it. We got enough room, we can go ahead and pull it out now.
There you go. Watch your camera. Right behind you. Yeah. Okay, we good? Roll it back this way a little bit and towards the hazmat unit. You may not be able to like straddle it or just get it away from this one because this is where everybody's going to have to be looking at. Back this way. Good, keep going, keep going. Yeah, right in there. Good. Line them up again, parallel. Okay. There you go. You good? What's the maximum distance between planks? Make it so. Okay? If you can't make it 1 inch, split the difference.
What this one is? Just a little bit more. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, everybody good? Got it as break as we can get it broken? Down here. Yeah, parallel. Got a 1 inch on each side, all our pins. Final check. Final check, incidentally, is one step of the process. And incidentally, to tell you before you even get online, half of your JSA will be about assembly, the other half will be about disassembly. Makes sense? Okay? So you look for those as you go up there as well. As soon as he gets done with that tape, we'll get going on a song and dance that I'll do real quick, and then we'll start disassembly. Got it? Okay, all students over here, if you guys want to get with the camera too, we're going to look right here at this plank on the side. Everybody gather over in this area, okay? Now there's a reason Dr. Nick is the only one to climb, because he's little, as you can see. Okay? Back here on the back, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I should have counted 5 DI-65s inside that little scaffold plank handout that I gave you. Inside the little scaffold assembly handout that I gave you, you will see DI-65, and you'll see all the stamps and all the grading, how you do for lumber, if it's split, what you should do, and how you select lumber. These DI-65s stands for dense industrial. That's how the fibers are in the wood itself. Okay? So they're grown and they're actually cut to be put on scaffolds. And we said that these have something that others do not. And these brakes are not working, but what do they call those little things on the end of each plank? Excellent. Very good. Okay? So the cleats I put on here, and probably when you put them on that frame, you probably felt it straighten up a little bit, right? In terms of it was squaring up and getting so that it will be stable. Because the number one reason that frame scaffolds fall is failure to
Stabilize.
excellent. I'm glad you're there. Okay, now, this last piece of wood that has nothing stamped on the side, you notice the DI-65 or what they call dog ear, one on each side. That is just a mark, that is a DI-65, and it's also painted blue. When I was coming up through, you could make a DI-65 really easy. You know how you do it?
Blue spray
A
paint.
circular saw and blue spray paint. That hopefully keep OSHA off of you as you're doing your job. These days, they've stamped them on top. Problem with top stamp is what? It'll wear off. So they've burned them into the sides that says that and this is important for your test, OSHA can approve scaffold planking, true or false? False. OSHA does not approve any type of scaffold planking. It can only meet or not meet that standard. The last plank I have on here, you'll notice, has nothing on the side. It's not painted. I cut the cleats and put it all on there, and that's even more than you'll see on a lot of job sites. But this plank is a top choice from an unnamed hardware store somewhere here in town that you're probably very familiar with. It's big. But I got a top choice lumber 2x12 from that lumber company, and I put it up here for a reason. Now watch my feet. Yeah, they'll bleep that. So exactly what we're talking about here is, you see how much give? Even the DI-65 is given a little bit, but the DI-65 has aluminum pins in each end. It's dense industrial. It's grown for the purpose of planking. This top choice, as you can see, bounces, okay? Which one? Now, the DI-65 costs about $15 a plank before you put cleats or anything on them. That top choice lumber right there, about $4 a plank. Which one do you think you'll have to watch for on a construction site more often?
$4.
Top choice. They're always going to use it. What's worse, as we talked about in class, they'll take the ends and they won't cleat them. What will they do? They'll overlap them, okay, for your test. What we'll say is, in terms of overlapping them, when we overlap, it's faster, they get it done quicker, and it creates a what? Tripping, slip, trip, fall hazard, because you have to step over that each time. Now, the standard itself calls for a 3.5-inch toe board. And I guarantee you, if you can't read that tape, it is 3.5 inches. That's just a standard toe board that I pulled off the stack at the same lumber company mentioned previously, okay? That 3.5-inch toe board meets the OSHA standard. I took a 1x4, I believe, if I remember right, toe board and put it inside that other, the one with the aluminum planks on it, okay? And I put it inside metal brackets. You say, why'd you do that, Dr. Nick? Why didn't you put a metal toe board in there? Because that is the exact place that the state of Oklahoma ran out of money. So I had the option to go get a 1x4 and put it in there. That also illustrates a principle, and gave me the chance to do so, that will be on your final exam. And that is, true or false, scaffolding parts can be intermingled, meaning mixed together, so long as they are not, what? Forced. Those slip in and out. Normally what I would do in those brackets is I would put those two I'd level it out, and we'd bolt them in there, okay, so that they would stay. Then I would drop those last steel toe boards on the end down. Those are U-bolts on the sides, and I would drop them down to where they would be even and flush with the actual aluminum planks that we got in there. Does that make sense? Okay? Now, you see two different ways of stabilizing frame scaffolding as well. Right here, you already know, and both sides got eligible for it, so I'll put a +5, and you may need that later on your papers today. Those are called what?
Outriggers.
Outriggers, and their purpose is to do what? Keep it it's stable, okay, so that it won't tip. I have never been on a construction site in my life that had outriggers on the actual scaffold itself. That's how rarely they are used. But I'm showing you a best practice, okay, and that will be in your JSA. That particular set of scaffolding is rigged now for overhead work. You would stand on it and you would do overhead work. Why do I say that? And I'll give you a hint, it's something to do with the outriggers.
Because they're at 90?
Yeah, exactly. If I was going to go up flush to a building, where would they be?
On the other side.
They'd be you'd go 90 the other way, 45 the other way, right? Make sense? Okay? 45, 45, 90, she said 45. but you go 45 the other way. This aluminum planking here also hooks in automatically, as you notice, and it also stabilizes that scaffold. It's got a bunch of holes in the top of it, all drilled out and pushed up a little bit. Why is that?
Traction.
Good, excellent. That is fall protection, true or false?
True.
True, because fall protection is a system, not just a harness, okay? So that's all traction. It also allows, during poor weather conditions, going back to when I did my first job as an intern on a construction site, allows those, when they heat up, to do what? If you've had a snowstorm or an ice storm,
We don't know.
they drain, okay, through those holes. One of my first jobs was to make sure that all that was clear for the crews when they went up there. Make sense? There were 5 years of development between these two sets of guardrails. Originally, when I bought these guardrails, there's an extra set on top of the hazmat module there we're not using, that section of scaffolding. They came with this as the top of the guardrail. 5 years later, they released that set of guardrails on top. Chain guardrails, which what do you think they'll do with that chain every time? They won't use it, they'll leave it, they'll cut it off, they'll leave it down. I like it, it's good, but they will not use it. I would love for them to use it, but it's something I gotta watch for if it's on the site, keeps them from falling over. They came out with a top rail that's fixed, a mid rail that's fixed. The toe boards can be movable, and there are other steel toe boards obviously that go with those that we couldn't afford. But I slipped those in, and that way we can move those toe boards around. So I am in compliance there. Now over here, I've got a 3.5 inch toe board that is in compliance with the standard, and I've got a top rail that is sort of fixed, and I've got a mid rail that is sort of fixed on 4 posts that were attached. What's the 3 things a scaffold is supposed to hold? Tools, I heard it. What? Person.
And whatever you're building.
The materials, that's it. You got 3 things, okay? Basically, it says in the video you're going to watch later. Now, would you believe that Tiny, the 3 guy that we talked about in class that I used to work with, pushing 250, 300 pounds, if he hits this, is he going to be stopped?
No.
No. And imagine Tiny climbing up here on these planks with 2 buckets of mortar getting ready to put bricks on. What's going to happen? He's going to go through. Okay? So this I would deem as unsafe. Now the OSHA guy will come up and they try to cite me. You can't cite me under a scaffolding standard. You cannot do that. I have a top rail, I have a mid rail, I have a toe board, I have planks. The only thing you can get me on is this one that is not scaffold grade planking. You could get me on a construction safety standard for scaffolding for this plank that is not scaffold grade planking. However, you cannot cite me for not having any other components. Does that make sense? What you can cite me under is something that is not a construction safety standard, that they can cite for any place that has hazards that are present in a workplace.
General duty?
Boom! You got it right. Give that man a cigar. Don't give him a cigar. You'll kill him. I'm not supposed to say that. Okay, in terms of doing that, I guarantee you right now, somebody out there is getting cited under the general duty clause. That's how often it is used. This is an unsafe scaffold. Your OSHA inspector, the first thing they would do is get up, see this mess of guardrail. Look much better in the picture, by the way. When I ordered it, the other lesson there is, be careful what you order online. Because when I got them, I was like, oh my God, this sucks. I'll show them how bad it is. But now I have a good example and a bad example, and there's 5 years of development in between that. Make sense? Okay? So you get rid of these kind of guardrails, I would deem it unsafe, tag it probably. They use red, yellow, green tags on most of the scaffold if it's unsafe. And I would go with those right there. Speaking of the safer guardrails over there, the top of each tube that you see right there is what they call crimped down. Now why is that? Why do you think that is?
Makes it stronger at the end.
Good guess.
Keeps you from putting tools down in it or something.
Good. Another good guess. That means that's the top of the scaffold. You go no further. Those are not frames for putting another piece of scaffold on. That's the guardrail. I crimped it together. And if you get then you're doing it wrong. You say, that's okay, man, I'm going to weld it, like they used to do in Kentucky to me. No, you're not. Because when you weld it, we'll go through this later in the course, you have actually changed the metal at a molecular level and you've weakened it. So you haven't solved the problem, you've made it worse. Make sense? Okay? So, we got good guardrails, good planking, all this over here. Those planks cost about 150 bucks a piece. These planks are 15 if I can sell the boss on them. Now, I see these all throughout Dallas, some places in Durant. I'm the boss. Sell me. Why should I buy that instead of these?
You'll have less workers' comp
Okay? Because
it's safer, no slip trips involved, or less slip trips involved.
good. What else?
More secure too, because most places don't put cleats on the boards.
Yes? Excellent. What else? There's a lot of reasons.
They'll last longer.
Last longer between jobs, right? Now, if they break off an end hook, you can always weld it back on, true?
Well,
No. I'll take a torch and I'll cut that into a million pieces. My wife and I are both famous for doing that. She loves doing it with ladders and extension cords. I do it with anything that I think is not safe. I will cut that into a million pieces. You will not use it on my site, and it now becomes scrap. And we will go get a new plank to finish the job. Makes people mad. You're going to go home mad, but they're going to go home. Makes sense? Okay? Everybody clear? Okay, now disassemble. Any questions? Any questions before I get going into disassembly? Okay. Disassembly is just as important as assembly. Now, when I take these things apart, I'm always going to take them apart from the bottom up. True or false?
Oh.
Why?
That's not the way you do it.
That's right. If you look up here, and when the group up gets up here, I don't know where it sneaks off to every time. It's a different plank. Here it is. Right here, there's about almost a 1 foot crack in the end of this plank. I turned my back on one group to help another group. They pulled the cross braces out from the bottom first. And I heard a boom in terms as soon as that happened. What do you think happened? Yeah, they fell in the worst way possible. We had to carefully spread them back out, put the cross braces back in, and then disassemble them for your JSA that you're going to do in blackboard from the top down, okay? And I'll give you another thing in terms of when you guys walk in here today, general inspection is one of the things we do before we put the scaffolding up and after we pull it apart. Make sense? Okay, so each group gives 5 points. This one, because they're eligible for 5 extra points, because you got the outriggers on. Down here, the stabilization bar, the gooseba, as they say in Australia, is on down here. That stabilizes the whole scaffold. Both of you guys are eligible for 5 points. So, what we're waiting on right now is, we're waiting on this group kind of to get down to their aluminum planking. It's going to go back in that back corner first. Okay, guys, who are in this group? What you're going to do is pull it 2 feet away from that back wall, assemble it from the top down, and we're going to stack that planking first, then this planking on top of that, and et cetera, and I'll tell you how to do it as we go along. We go? Any questions? All right, get to it, folks.
No, I can't. Yeah. They're in the way right now. We can't even.
You can start pulling it apart and just setting stuff to the side right now, and then we'll pull it back. We'll put it back with the other. Put your pins away, that kind of stuff. You do all that. Take the planks off, set them aside, set them in stacks of 2, flip flop it.
Don't take a picture of all this stuff right there.
Yeah, I think
Or do you want me to send it back your way?
Good, just leave it right, you got it, man. Right up there is where I need it. And then we'll put it up at the very end. You can take the cross braces off, guys, to help you guys out a little bit. There you go, good.
You'll have to move the outrigger everywhere.
Now your next wooden plank, flip it upside down, put it on top of that one. I know one of them's got a bad warp, I'm trying to take it out.
Hey, camera guys.
That's it. We're gonna have to turn it this way, so like.
There you go, now start spinning.
Yeah, go ahead, take the planks off. Save yourself some time. Get that stabilizer bar, the booster bar off. You do all that.
Yeah, they don't want that way, yeah. Lay it down.
There you go. You got it. That's exactly how I want them. And don't go on top of the aluminum planks like that too. Perfect. Good. Excellent. There you go. There you go. Watch your fingers. What kind of point is that? That's it. Doing good, doing good. Kids come out and scoot over so they can get going up top, guys.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah, just flip it over and flip over in the corner
Wait,
there.
should we leave it till we get this off so we can roll it better? And don't close up on us?
Either way, you do that. You want to? There you go. Now you got a ladder.
You want this to-
We'll believe you go this way.
Set them aside right underneath the module. The last thing's going. There we go. Now we're ready for aluminum planks to come off. And stick back in the corner back here.
Right?
There you go. Yeah, you got it. Man. That's how they go. You got it. That's how they're going to go when we put them back together. Okay, good. Bring them right back here. You can set that one down flat. I need at least 2 feet off this back wall, okay? Yeah. Flat side up, and then the next one, flip it over. Got it? Yeah, about 2 foot. There you go. Flip that one upside down on top of the next one. There we go.
You gotta push the hooks in. Push the bottom hooks in and then the. This one is. Oh. You push that side a little bit.
Just set it inside right now. Those are the last. There you go. Okay. Now we're ready for wooden planks to come on top of the aluminum. There you go. Other way, other way. You guys can put man and stir. Other way, other way.
We just take everything off.
Other way. Yeah.
Where is the wooden plank if you only put this in those?
They support each other that way. Okay. There you go. And you guys are probably going to have to flip that one and then let him
Here, get on
put
that
the one on top. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I got it. Now we just need to get the wheels off of those.
Good. Just put those to the side. All the way up against the wall. There you go. Good. Cleat to cleat. Flip it up, flip it. Slowly. Oh wait, I'm sorry. No, 2 stacks. I'm sorry. My bad. Right there. Yeah, still flip it over. Still flip it over. Just put it right next to that stack. No, that's right. You got. No, we want the flats together. That's gonna take the warp out. Okay. Kick it up here. Now put your cleats. No, leave it fine. Your next one's gonna be fine. Okay. My bad. You flip that one, etc., etc. Okay, flip that frame upside down, slide it all the way behind that scaffolding. It's just as far as you can get in that corner, okay? That's why we got the 2 feet. There you go. I can't see, but yeah, if it's, cleat to cleat right now. There you go, right in the corner, all the way in the corner. And then the next frames will go in front of those. So we're ready to take those apart, slide those frames in front of those. There you go. Now we're getting it all the way in the corner. And we got one more set of frames go in front of that. Set those to the, wait, did they got all those? Yeah, they got all those. We're ready for toe boards, all toe boards. Have to put that one right on. There you go, all toe boards now. Go on top. Try to give us a flat surface. Yep. Doing good. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Hazard number 4. There you go. Good. Now, everything round goes on top of that stack. Your cross braces, your railing, your posts, all that stuff goes on top of that stack. Oh, I'm sorry.
He'll show it. He'll show you. I think he's doing it.
So far we're half soft. It ain't making me happy when you do that. There you go. That's the way you do it. Money for nothing. Good. Just make sure you got all your nuts, so to speak, on there and put them right on top. And now we're ready for frames. Cross braces, frames, all go on top. There you go. Hold your frames as you pull off. Doing good. If Thursday's group does it good, I would be flabbergasted. Good. Good, man. Alright, pull your pins, pull your casters. Same thing, upside down in the corner. There you go. There you got it. Now right in front of those are the chain guardrails. Okay? Those chain guardrails go right in front of those frames and back. Outriggers, exactly as they're stacked there, just move them to in front of the chain guardrail. Cool? Got all our pins and tools policed up? Everything cool? We good? Everybody sign the roll sheet. It's over there. And sign a release. Hard hats in the hard hat box, safety glasses in the safety glasses box. Make sure you take your papers there. I got you how to do a job safety analysis. Since you guys asked for the sheets, I got them right around. Swing slide up there. Feel free to take one if you need one to do the exercise in Blackboard, okay? And your next step from here, log into Blackboard, find that exercise like I showed you in class, in groups of 4, you're going to put them in order. Everybody clear? Understand? When will I see you again?
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. See you in class. We're going to start back where we left off. Everybody good?
Is the module for frame scaffolding, that exercise, is it under job section?
No, it'll just say frame scaffolding assembly exercise, something like that.
Because I was looking over there, there's nothing under that title.
Should be on the side, if I remember, on the left side. Try to click on there. If you don't see it on there, let me know, email me, and I'll make sure. But I made it so it'd be available at midnight tonight.
Oh, tonight, okay.
So it should have popped up by midnight on the 1st, which is today.
Okay, so we're,
Should be.
okay, it doesn't always.
Hey, you
Unless there's
want
something
some
crazy
more
going on, it might happen. No, they will look the same because I've already done them all. You're going to get into Blackboard in those groups of 4 like I showed you on those sheets. You're just going to put them in order. I've got the numbers down here like I've got. I took all the numbers out. You just take them, you know what you're doing. You take them in groups of 4 at a time, assembly first, make sure your wheels are in that group of 4, and then you go from there going down. No, that's just to help. They want instructions on how to do a JSA, so running form. Cool? Should have been. If it's not there, I've got it over there. But just sign the sheet. Everybody sign a release? All right, you're good to go. I will see you on Tuesday. We will be back in class.